Okay, so based on my last comments to you, I would still look for icons. If you're going to keep this up here the way you have it on the left and right hand side, you want to find a different at sign in a phone that's the same symbol style. We still want to adjust the employment and objective and education because it's still not the same styling. They're not consistent. So I do see some things that we can do here to enhance, especially your objective area. You got some good points here, so I like to just enhance it and go in and work with that. Now, when I look in your Muse file, one thing you did was you didn't create a fixed size. So what you'll have to do is every page that you have created now, you start with your master page. Right click, if you're on a Mac, control click, page properties, change it from fluid to fix. If you don't do that, you're going to have a big issue down the road because what will happen is when I resize my window to make it smaller, everything becomes fluid and so thus makes it harder to read. So you'll learn how to do some of that stuff in other classes. So you definitely have to go in, and what you're going to have to do is you're going to do it for each of these pages as well. It doesn't go in automatically add to it. So right click, page properties, and you have to change everything to fix width. Okay. Now with that said, once you do that, again, these icons, if you go out there, type in icons, there's tons of them, and there's ones that are just all consistent. So if I go to, I'll just go to images. You can download them. You can create your own in Illustrator. If you create your own in Illustrator, that's even better, for that purpose. So you want to keep the same styling is what I'm looking for on that. So then with that said, let's open up your about page. And I believe this here's, yeah, this is a graphic. So you might instead, I like to keep things all consistent, and so what I might, let's think about that. Keep in mind you're spelling the education wrong. Pittsburgh Institute of Art, it's actually the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. That is really important for that because a there is a different institutes out there, so you have to make sure you have that spelled correctly. I like the icons added down here. Um, I'm searching for an entry level position of graphic designer, fast learning team player. I think you need an extra return there. You know, bring that return up there so you got two paragraphs. So what can we do here? I think what we could do, I'm not sure what that color of that purple, it looks like purple, but it's also blue. Did you have any swatches? So let me look at your style guide real quick. So I assume it should be one of these colors. So let's see here. OB 0B, what was that? 0B0BB2. 0B0B22. I'm just adding your swatches to the swatch panel. Makes your life a lot easier. What I probably would do here is in Muse, I would actually create a rectangle. I would fill it in with that color. Again, that doesn't look like the right color, but you'll get the idea. I'm using this color that you chose from your color guide. I sure don't look like it. Make sure those hexadecimal values are correct. Let's see, 7689, is that ES? Let me see, 7689 ES. Or it must be a 5. Because there is no, it won't let me put an ES in, so it must be a 5. Yeah, so just double check on that. And let me click OK here. That might be a better choice. And then what you do is you take your text tool, text frame, you add a text in there, and you type in objective. Now, again, you would have to use the font you're using, whatever font you're using with that. I'll just keep it Arial at this time. So I'm going to make it large. What I'll do is I'll click on the text and I'll center it. Okay, you have as white. Now you added a stroke around it, so what we might have to do here is to make it stand out, click on effects, add a little drop shadow, make it a hard edge. So I'm going to change the blur down to 2, distance to 2. So see how that goes in? That's basically does the same thing as a stroke for that purpose. And then what I would probably do here is, because then you can keep everything consistent, what I want to do is move this up, have this go all the way across, okay, and then what I can do is select both of these and I'll duplicate it. I'm holding down the Option key. The Option key allows me to drag and duplicate just like it does in Photoshop and Illustrator. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight and just change this to education. And I got to spell it right, you know. And what's the beauty of this is that you're keeping the font size and everything consistent. So that would be my suggestion. Again, I couldn't get that exact color because, again, you got to use the color scheme. I'm using your style guide, and so you want to add those colors into your swatch panel when you get a chance. So I might have just chose the wrong swatch for that. And I think if you do something like that, definitely will help you in the long run. So I would do the same thing for skills and achievements. Now there's a lot of empty space here, so you got to figure out how can I utilize that space. Make sure you change the name of the colleges. Maybe it is, if we move this up, let me move this up. Let me go in, I'm going to go back in, I'm going to add column page. I'm going to right click on the page, control click if you're in the Mac, go to page properties. Let's add 5 column guides. I'm going to move this over to the start of this column. I didn't get blue, let's just move that over. And then we can bring this over. Oh, it's not really going to fit. I have to resize. Well, actually, no. What we'll do, skill. Well, see, you got your graphics down there. So I'm trying to figure something out to line it up. I mean, that would probably still work, and then because you could, let's see here, let's move these graphics up here. Yeah, that could work nicely on that. And then for achievements, see, I would actually, with achievements, I'd probably create like a whole rectangle down here. Fill it in with the color. And have your heading and your text inside that blue box, so it kind of completes the ending part. So, hopefully it helps you out on that. You definitely want to make sure, the other thing too, like under employment, you really want to bold your titles like that. I would automatically italicize the name of the company. So bold the title, italicize the company. It's going to make it easier to read.